Hey, don't you hate it when your boss sends you a long email and with misspelled words and bad grammar? So frustrating at times. It makes you want to just run around the office really fast, screaming at every person that you see. Well, I have a solution for you. Instead of running around the office looking like a wild man with your head cut off, let's do this. We have the ultimate tool. Are you smarter than your boss? Right now I'm going to show you how to turn on something called Readability Statistics in Microsoft Word. I'm going to show you some screenshots and walk you through the benefits of using it and a way of getting back at your boss on the low. What you can do is run this program, go through the steps, and then in yourself you know I am smarter than my boss just by the email that he sent. So just bear with me, give me a few moments of your time, and let's have some fun with this. Okay, now what is Readability Statistics? Well, Readability Statistics is a tool that measures two things. One, it measures your reading ease, and two, it measures the grade level that you're writing at. As you can see right now from this document that I pulled up from Wikipedia, it shows you the basic formula that it uses to calculate your reading ease. The formula for the Flesch reading ease score is simply this. It takes the total words divided by the total sentences. Then it takes the total syllables and divides it by the total words. As you can see from this example right here, it gives you a somewhat of a judgment of what or how someone should be able to read this particular document. So if you look down at the bottom, right below the calculation or the formula, you see a score and you also see a note section. Well, this is where it lets you know how or whom at an age level can read this document. Well, easily understandable by an average 11-year-old student is 90 to 100%. Easily understood by a 13 to 15-year-old student is 60 to 70%. And 0 to 30 is understood by university graduates. So the next time your boss comments about your email, let's see where level he's at, or she. So that is one way, or one aspect of the tool. The next one is, scroll down a little bit, you see this. The Flesch-Kincaid grade level. This right here is the ultimate tool. By definition, these readability tests are used extensively in the field of education, which I'm currently in. But it can be used in corporate America. If you look right here at the formula, it states it's the same thing. It takes the total words, divides it by the total sentences. Instead of subtracting, it adds them together. Then it takes the total syllables and divides it by the total words. So this calculation right here actually gives you a grade level. For example, a score of 8.2 would indicate that a test is expected to be understandable by an average student in the 8th grade, somewhere around 13 to 14 years old. So as you can see, this particular passage right here is at 12.1. The lowest grade level is at 3.4. So when you receive a memo or email or anything written, you can run this particular tool, see what grade level they're at. That way you have a better understanding of how you want to respond to your boss. Hi world, it's me again. Well, we just saw a short definition of what readability statistics is. Now what I would like to do is just take you real quickly through Microsoft Word, which the steps are different for each edition, but it does the exact same thing once you have it turned on. I'm going to take an average document that I pulled offline from somewhere, and I'm going to run it through the Microsoft Word Readability Statistics program. And then you're going to see from the results the grade level that it's writing at. Again, this is the ultimate tool. When you receive email from that spiteful boss who's always making little comments about what you do and how you write, this is how you do. I am smarter than my boss. On the low, of course, we all need our jobs. So let's begin. Okay, what we have right now is Microsoft Office Word 2007. Well, this right here is a memo or a brief passage of something I pulled from online. And what I'm going to do is, as you can see on here, there's a red bar underneath the word accounting, and then there's a green section implying that the grammar is incorrect. So what I'm going to do is run through the spell check, which for those of you techies, is shortcut is F7. Well, as you can see from this screen that pops up, it notes in the dictionary what the misspelled word is from the passage, and then gives me the correct suggestion spelling of it. Well, before I begin anything in here, what I'm going to do is, at the bottom of this section, I see a box that says options, where my insertion point is currently on. I'm going to select that, and then it takes me to word options. In word options, under proofing, the third section down, when correcting spelling and grammar in Word, there's a little checkbox down here that says show readability statistics. Of course, I'm going to check it. Hit OK. Then I'm going to go back to the spelling and grammar check tool that's provided to you in Microsoft Word. I'm going to change these two passages. Hit accounting. And let's see what it says for grammar. All right, it says, then you for taking the time to read this letter. I think that's wrong. All right, the suggestions is think. So let's go ahead and make that changes. Now you see this box popped up. Readability statistics. Well, the top section of it tells you the word count. Below it tells you the averages, and then beneath that is the readability. Well, as we discussed before earlier, the last two lines are the most important. Well, it's the reading ease. It shows you the 71.1. So this implies that an average individual from 11 to 15 should be able to read this document. And then beneath that, it gives you the grade level, which is 7.8. It's documented that the average is somewhere between 6 to 9. That is the average writing. So don't feel bad if it's below that. Well, that is how you turn the tool on. That is how you use a tool. So there are all kind of different ways to utilize this particular function, but make sure you take the time to use it at every opportunity that you get. Okay, now we've just seen two screenshots of what readability statistics is. One, we saw the definition. Two, we saw how to successfully utilize this function in Microsoft Word. Now, I highly suggest that you use it, turn it on, and use it for every single document that you write, sending or receiving. This gives you the opportunity to make sure you are conveying what you need to say in a written form at an appropriate level for a professional as yourself, and me too. So please take this opportunity to review this video as many times as you like. Then turn on readability statistics. If you have a different version, or if you're using a Mac, take the time to use Google. Google's a great resource too. Type in readability statistics and whatever edition or operating system that you currently are working on, and it will give you step-by-step instructions on how to turn it on. So, without further ado, we've now just went through all the steps to see if you're smarter than your boss. Remind you, do not blame me if you decide to say something to your boss about this. This is a tool for you and you only. When you're in your office and you have your opportunity to go through it and see who is smarter. I digress. Have a good evening.